Welcome to the Soulful Success by Design podcast. I'm Kendra Woods, your host, and a former corporate healthcare executive turned entrepreneur. After battling burnout, I discovered the magic of human design. As a 6'2" splenic projector, I am here to lead you on a journey of self-discovery, self-mastery, and unstoppable growth. So join me as we dive into the world of human design, mindset, energetics, and aligned success. We will talk about the highs and the lows of creating soulful and meaningful success in your life and business on your terms. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Soulful Success by Design podcast. I am your host, Kendra Woods, and today I have a special treat for you all because it's not just me on the show today. I have my business partner here with me. Her name is Michelle René Robinson, and I have her here today because we're going to talk about something really special that we want to share with everyone. But before we do that, Michelle René, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, tell the folks what you do in your business, what your title is, how you love to help the people that you help, and then we'll get started.
Okay. Thank you, Kendra, for inviting me on. This is definitely a treat for me. Yes, I am Michelle René Robinson, and I'm a soul journey guide. I help women find their true, authentic voice and use it for grace. Also to step up and out of the me, and step into the me for we, for our world. And I am a human design, gal, and I'm gonna take that gal back, okay? I'm a human design queen. There you go. Human design, human design, tarot, astrology, mainly the big three. I'm a moon maven, love that. That's all part of my jewel box. And I let everybody know, once you are where you truly need to be going, you are the best jewel in your jewel box. So that's a little bit about me. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you said I'm taking that back. I am the human design queen.
And you
Yes.
know why.
Yes, I do. Yes.
You know
I
why.
love it.
Yes.
So today, everyone, we wanted to come and talk with you all because a few weeks ago, myself and Michelle René, we were in Puerto Rico at an amazing conference, and we made an announcement to the world about something that her and I have been working behind the scenes on in regards to human design. And so we announced that we will be officially launching our school in April, called the Reader's Path School of Human Design Wisdom.
Yes.
And we are so excited about that. And so we put it out there to the world. We did a nice, Instagram live, and we've been going live on Instagram weekly to just talk about different components of human design and why it's important, why it's such an amazing system, first of all, and how it's impacted our lives, how it's impacted our business, and how it's impacted the work that we do with our clients. And the thing that, and I'm going to let Michelle René speak to this here too in a moment, the thing that we want to do with human design is not just teach individuals human design. We specifically are looking to uplift and empower women around this amazing system, women of color around this amazing system of human design, and as a way to support them in speaking their truth, right? And living out their truth and stepping up with their leadership. So share your thoughts around this, Michelle René, like as you and I have been talking about kind of our vision and our mission really behind this school. In your words, how would you say that? How would you explain it?
What's really interesting is that I am such a community person. And just as Kendra said, a couple of weeks ago, we were in Puerto Rico, and just the setting there of women of color, powerful, graceful, just not intimidated, asking, how can I help you? How can I serve you? What resources do you need in your business? And that was something that Kendra and I know we have that inside of us, and we're, always sharing, but just to really see it, how it just was right there in front of us. And it was like, this is what we want. We want that type of community where you can be brilliant. You can, do whatever it is that you need to do, that, we're helping you to be successful in your life, in your business. And there's no jealousy, there's no competition. You are your own individual. You'll see that with human design. There's no one like you. There is no one like you. And when you have that knowledge, then it is so next level. It's a totally different level when you know that, oh gosh, this person over here has 1 million followers, or they're making this amount of money, or what have you. No, you are on your own journey. You're on your own path where you will be encouraged, nurtured in this community to grow, to be better, feel better, do better, etc. So that's what I see. I see an amazing community of women of color that are stepping into this community because they are wanting to receive from these two Black women, two projectors, to get a look through our lens on what success looks like and what living well looks like.
Yes, because there's a whole different level of experiences and insight and wisdom that comes to the table when we look at it through the lens of being a woman of color in the world, right? And then looking at how we can utilize and leverage our own unique design so that we can take up more space in the world, right? Take up more space in the world, and to use our voices in a bigger way, to leverage our voices, to leverage our work and our service, and to affect change in the world. And I've said this in some of our videos that, like, yes, there's the baseline knowledge that we're definitely going to be talking about and sharing in the school. But then there's another, like, deeper layer of how does that apply to you as, a woman in color? Like when we talk about, deconditioning,
Right.
There are things that we've taken on just that's in our DNA, right? Like it's just generational that comes through. And then there are also things that we take on as conditioning from our own experiences because of the simple fact that we're women of color, right? And things that we experience that, other parts of the other women in the world don't experience. And so I think we're definitely going to be bringing a unique perspective and a unique, like, vibe to this beautiful system of human design.
I want to
Let's
say something that, because you brought our ancestors into it, and it reminded me of something that one of the speakers said at the conference that Kendra and I went to, that said, your ancestors walked through the back door so that you could walk through the front door. That's what we're doing here. We're not asking for permission to enter. We're building the entire house. We're building the door, the tables, the chairs, all of that. That's what we are bringing to this community. That there's no, can I do this, etc. Is it all right if I do this? No, if this is within your will, your excuse me, your design, and this is the message that you're bringing out, bring it. Come with it. Come with it, because, there's no more asking, can I do this? Will you do this? When are you going to do this? If not now, then when? When are you going to be spectacular, brilliant, knowledgeable to others, so that others see it? Because we know you are. Okay.
Exactly.
So this is some of the things that we are that is part of the school, is that we're building we're building another level of human design.
Yes, I love it. So for those of you who maybe new to human design, I will definitely, like I have been doing, leave the link to where you can go pull your human design chart so that you can see what your human design type is. Um, but Michelle René, share with her and myself and Michelle René, we've been in the depths of just studying human design and separately in our own worlds for years. Michelle René actually found human design before I did, but I'd love to just if we could share with the audience, when did you meet human design, Michelle René? What was that like for you? What did that bring up for you? And then I'll share a little bit of mine when you're finished.
Yeah. I started, with human design in 2016, and I'm not going to say it was a love story at first because I was devastated. Once I found out who I truly am to the core, it went back to my childhood, and it took me to places where I was like, oh my goodness, if my parents would have known that this is how I actually operate at my best, instead of burning myself out to be the best, but there was another way that was more comfortable for me, which was my design. There was just it took me just a moment to not be sorrowful, because I said, this is why I'm amazing here. And this is where, I made mistakes. That if I would have known about my human design, if I would have known then, what I started learning in 2016 just about myself, oh my goodness. Human design, I mean, I don't want to start talking about centers and openness and definition yet, but I was like, okay, I'll never do that again. Or I will continue to do this because I know this is one of my gifts. This is where I'm unique. This is where I really shine. And human design to do that for you. You will see, and you'll need to, do some, work, do some deconditioning, uh, because you've been really working hard at trying to be someone you're not.
That part, people, yes.
Yeah.
Working really hard to be somebody that you're not. And it can be an
Yes.
unconscious thing, right?
Oh yeah. Instead of just ease, just being who you are. It's just so much easier. And it's your journey is, yeah. Instead of trying to be something that someone else has told you that you are, or something that you're like, oh, I like how she does that, or how she speaks this, or what. No, be you. And human design lays it all out for you to be exactly who you were designed to be.
Yes. Yes. I love that. That's going to stick with me. Trying hard to be someone who you are not. And that just when I think about my story of human design, it's like pre-human design.
Mhm.
Um, that was my path, right? Of doing things, and I've shared this in multiple other places, like just going through the steps of doing things that what I thought I was supposed to do. And it
Mhm.
was very much like an unconscious thing. It's like, well, this is what I've been told I should do. This is how I've been told the path that I should
Mhm.
take. So, of course, and you're told these things from people that, have an influence over your life. And so you're like, okay, great, that's what I'm going to do. And when human design, when human design and I did meet, it was through a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. She mentioned it to me. And I was excited for her because she was really excited. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I found this amazing system," and and she was just going on and on and on about it. And I was like, "Yes, good for you. I'm so excited." And she's like, "You need to find out what your type is." And I'm like, "Yep, okay." And I just kept like, it just wasn't. But anyways, just as like I know when something is meant for me when it just keeps coming up, it keeps coming up. Like she brought
Right.
it to my attention 3 times, and the third time she was like, "I'm done with you. I'm gonna need you to go and pull your chart and let's talk about your type." And so I did that. And, I'm a projector, 6'2", splitting projector. And when I really began to dig deep and understand what it means to be a projector, I think I had so many moments of just tearful, woeful me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this moments.
Mhm.
And it was eye opening because everything that had happened from that point back really began to make sense. My whole corporate journey of just like burnout and just trying to prove myself and, not feeling like I was welcomed at the table, right? Like all the things that I had been through, like it made sense.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I no longer have to try to prove myself to you. I no
Right.
longer have to try to make my voice be heard,
Mhm.
right? I no longer have to feel any kind of shame about the direction or the path that I'm taking in my life because I knew that based on my design, I was like, oh, I'm like, those spaces are fluid for me. Those are spaces where I'm meant to have all these different experiences so that I can extract the wisdom from that to not only help myself, but help others, right?
Mhm.
So it was a very eye-opening moment. And I get that a lot. Like, and I'm sure you do too, when you do readings for people, like you do readings or you talk to folks about their type, there's just this moment of just recognition and oh my gosh, I am being seen.
Right. Yes, it is. It really is, just to know this is who I am.
Mhm.
This is who I am. I remember, I mean, especially for me, my first human design uh like information was the nine centers. This person
Mhm.
sent me the nine centers and said, okay, this is, you're open, defined, etc.
Mhm.
My emotional solar plexus, my authority. I have been told you're so emotional, you're so emotional, you're so emotional. And it was like, here it is right here. I am. I am. But it
Mhm.
gave me the insight, the jewels, I should say, the pearls, to know how to ride that wave, to know, don't make these decisions when you're either up here or down here. It
Mhm.
really, I mean, just to in dealing with my emotions, that it was no, it's just not I'm an emotional wreck or something like that. No, this is just part of who you are. And this is how you can manage it.
Mhm.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with you. This is the right of you. And this is how you embrace it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is what is right with you because how often do
Right.
we make ourselves wrong for
Right.
being the way that we are? And when you understand like your energetics, you're like, oh my gosh, like why have I been fighting that? Like, yes, this is me. And like you get to own it. And there is a shift that happens, an energetic shift that happens when you see this confirmation of what you already knew in your heart, right? You already knew this in
Right.
your heart and soul, but like all the outside noise is so loud, you begin to question it like, well,
Right.
maybe, I don't know, maybe something is wrong. And then you understand your design and you're like, oh my gosh, nothing's wrong with
Right.
me. You
No.
embrace it and energetically you shift and you elevate into this woman that who like the into the space that you're meant to become.
Right.
Um, So where did you find, you mentioned about the centers, and I'd love for us to talk about that a bit because when we talk about like there's nine centers in your human design body graph, and some of them are
Right.
colored in, some are not colored in. So the ones that are not colored in, we call them undefined or open, and the ones that are
Mhm.
colored in, we call those your defined centers. And just really quickly, because I've already went over this, like if you want to kind of, if you want the overview of the different centers, you can go back to the, I can't remember which episode it is, but if you scroll back a bit, I went through the centers and explained the difference between defined and undefined. But what I'd love to
Mhm.
have a conversation here with you, Michelle René, is, with your specific centers that are defined or where you're undefined, where did you find that you had to do like what was that journey like for you when you mentioned your emotional solar plexus? Where else in your chart did you go, oh, okay, I don't need to do this anymore, I get to continue to
Mhm.
do this, oh, this is my
Right.
strength, I'm going to lean into that? What was that like for you?
The three that hit me the hardest is my open head, my open throat, and my open spleen. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. My open head, all these ideas are coming at me. All of them are coming at me. And it's like, guess what? I need to do all of them. No, I don't. just because I can do it doesn't mean I need to do it. Not all of those. Let me give those ideas to someone else. And this is, what I'll say to, my jewels. It's like, oh, here's an idea, do this, 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 and this, as far as business is concerned, this is, will be very lucrative for you.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm like, I could do that. I can do all the ideas. It's like, I can do that. But
Mhm.
no, I don't need to do that.
Mhm.
It's not for me. Some of them may be for me,
Right.
but I need to, I know now with my open head what to decipher, what is mine and what isn't.
Mhm.
So that's a journey at which human design has been, because I look back at, I've been an entrepreneur the better part of my life. And I was like, wow, she was doing this, this, this. Yeah, I want a flower shop. Let's open. Ooh, I want to, do porcelain dolls. Oh, let's do that. Oh, I want to, balloon decorating business. Let's do that. It's like, stop.
Right.
Already. Yes.
Right.
So human design with that, I mean, literally has saved me. I don't have a million things that I think that I have
Mhm.
to do. I
Yeah.
pass on those great ideas to someone else.
Mm-hmm. And it reduces
No.
the overwhelm, right? Because we can get
Oh gosh,
mentally
yes.
overwhelmed and mentally anxious with all these ideas flooding in. Because I have an open and undefined head too, with all these ideas and inspirations flooding in, you could just get stuck in that loop of
Right,
like, what should I do? I have all these ideas. I don't know which one to choose.
right,
Maybe
right,
or you go the opposite route, right? Where you were talking about, where you're just doing all the things, and then you're.
right. And you get nothing done. You
Mhm.
start, that's where in my open head, I start and start and start and start. And it's like, yeah, this isn't for me. If I can start it and not finish it,
Mhm. Mhm.
I have the concept,
Mhm.
but if I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to do that. With my throat, I have an open throat and I have the pressure to always talk.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
always, it's like, no, I don't have to always speak.
Right.
I go into my strategy and say, hey, maybe I'll wait, wait for the invitation, whatever it looks like, or just not say anything at all and
Mhm.
let that be, you know, my voice.
Because that's powerful
But
too.
yeah,
That.
that's a thing with my throat center. And then with the spleen, oh my goodness, my open spleen, it's like, I'm afraid of the past, I'm afraid of the future, security, this is like, calm down, Michelle.
Mhm.
Calm down. Having an open spleen is just like, oh my gosh. If somebody's afraid, it's like, okay, calm down. Oh, wait, maybe that might be a threat. I don't know. What was that? It's just so knowing that human design has just saved me so much emotional angst.
Mm,
It helps me to no, that's not coming into my life because
exactly.
I know, yeah, I know what's going on. I know what's going on with me. I don't need to
Mm,
talk to anybody. Is this real? What do you think about? No, I know I can center myself with human design because I know myself. Yeah.
you become what comes up for me is like you become your own authority, right? You
Oh
become
yeah.
your own authority instead of outsourcing like your power or your questions or whatever. It's like you, and we've all done this at some sort at point in our life, right? Like there's no judgment or shame around it. But then, and when you learn your human design, you take that all back. You take
Mm-hmm.
it back, you know, and you begin to operate from a place that is centered, from a place that's empowered. And being a woman of color,
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
that is so powerful
It
because
is. It is.
there's already so many stereotypes and labels, given
Right.
to
Right.
us women of color where
Right.
when you were younger, you might have, not saying you, Michelle René, but just in general, like the world around us, like you may have taken that on and identified
Mm-hmm.
with that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
identified it with like as a weakness, for example. Like, no, that's not your, like, some, like, you have a defined will center. So a woman of color with a defined will center who knows what the heck she wants and who's like, if I say I want it, I'm gonna get it. Oh, well, you're
Mhm.
just too aggressive. You're just this, you're just that. Well, no, how about I'm a woman who knows what she wants? What if that's the
Or that other name for the will center that they that you have been labeled with is that look at that ego.
look at that ego? Mm-hmm.
Hmm. She really
Yeah.
thinks she knows something. I can tell you what I do know. I do know myself.
Mm-hmm.
I do know myself. I mean, in those types of situations, would remind me how, geez, blessed I feel to have human design.
Yeah.
Uh, is I knew, I mean, for, Black women, yes. I mean, it's a journey. It's not been easy. It's still not easy in some areas. And to even, ooh, how can I say this? uh, not take the back seat.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That would be a no for me.
Right.
I just won't sit down.
She said, I just won't sit down.
Won't sit down. And then also oh goodness, the stereotypes of metaphysical jewels, human design, astrology, tarot,
Mhm.
uh,
Crystals.
in our community, crystals, yes, is I've had several conversations. So what is this? Is
Mm-hmm.
this, what does God think of this? I
Yes.
think I'm a great person. I have my flaws, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Because it's a tool, right? Human design is a tool. It's just like, when we get into our cars nowadays and we punch in an address in our GPS and it says, turn right here, turn left there. You're going to be on this road for 3 miles. Like it's a tool. It's an awareness tool. And I love that you
Right.
brought that up because I do get those. I've gotten those questions a lot. Like, I really am
Yes.
interested in this, but I feel conflicted because, I don't know how this fits in with my faith. And, I'm not sure if this is a God thing or if it's, the human design is not a religion, right? It's not a religion. It's not a belief system.
Not.
It's not,
Yeah, it's
it's
not a
no
cult.
different.
It's
Right.
not. Yeah,
It's
it really
no
isn't.
different than when you take a personality test and it tells you that you're an introvert. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like
Right.
it's a little different than that, but it's more detailed than that. But my point is it helps you to understand yourself. It's a tool for deep self-understanding. And in my
Right.
mind, I'm like, my God wants me to understand myself. Right?
Right.
Like my
Right.
God wants me to know how to leverage my gifts and how to, be in my power. He wants me to know like those areas to be mindful of so I don't, go down that rabbit hole of this, vulnerability over here or this conditioning over here. Like, I don't know. I mean,
Right.
my God says he wants to, has plans to prosper me. So it's like if I'm going to prosper, then I need to understand how to operate.
Right. He says that you're equipped. You have everything you need. But if you don't know,
Yep.
I mean, that just you brought up the GPS system. Well, what if, you want to stay with the paper map?
Mm-hmm.
How often does that get updated?
Come on now. Yes. Just be driving in the road. Well, wait a minute. This says this road is supposed to be right here, but there's a building there now. Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. Yeah. Evolve.
Evolve.
Yes. Evolve.
And we are here to evolve. Oh my gosh, I love that word. Evolution,
Hmm.
transformation, like
Yes.
just like change and like just getting
Mhm.
to your next level. I do not believe. I remember when I was making my transition out of corporate into the online space to my own business, and I just had this moment and for me, it was a God moment because I was like, look, I know, like, I just knew in my heart, like, maybe this is right for someone else. But for me, I was like, God, you did not create me to go to a building and sit in it for 9 hours and get a
Mhm.
paycheck and put money in 401k and then go home, wake up and do the next thing again and have 2 weeks of it. Like you created me for more than that. There's something bigger. And it's not that that's bad. I felt like there's a season in my life where that served me, but we can't
Right.
ignore that that calling inside that's like, wait, there's got to be something more than this. I'm feeling
Right.
pulled towards something else. And if you don't
Right.
know what you are made of, if you don't know the seeds of greatness that are inside of you and how to extract them, then your
Seeds of greatness.
potential, yeah, your potential just stays repressed.
Right. 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 And for some people, yes, that 9 to 5 that's what
Mhm.
you should be doing.
But you got to be honest
But
with
know it.
yourself about it.
Right. Know it. Embrace it. That's what human design does for you. It shows you clearly this this is who you are.
Mhm.
I have not looked at anything in my chart that, as far as my centers, gates, channels, my incarnation cross, my circuitry. Oh my goodness. Everything is like right on. It is spot
Yeah.
on. Perfect. It's, and I won't even get into, the planets and everything. Like, it's like, oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Even
Yeah.
with the planets, you can look at, like your top four um, gates on your body graph up here. That helps you with your branding.
Hmm.
There's like five, what is it? Venus helps you with how along with Mercury, helps you with your niche.
Hmm. Hmm.
And we can just go deeper and deeper and deeper into that. But of course, that's for the reader's path, School of Human Design Wisdom. But there's so much rich information, jewels, pearls in there. It's like, oh my goodness, here, right here.
Hmm.
This will help me with, how I talk to my customers.
Hmm.
This is how I market.
Hmm.
It's it's all there.
There's layers to it, right?
Oh
There
my
are layers
goodness.
to it. And
Is. If I would have known branding, marketing, niche, all of that back in 2016, because my oldest had just gone to college. She started college in 2015, and I did a million certifications, a million. And once I came across human design, I said, gosh, I really want to, use this for myself. But I
Mhm.
just kind of just was very surface with it.
Mhm.
If I would have really started to dig and be like, oh my gosh, look at this.
Mhm.
Because it's an unbelievable awareness jewel for, you. It really is. I would have, oh my gosh. And you feel authentic with it. You feel like, yes, I'm home. This feels good. I love this. I don't want to work. I want what I do to be my joy. What I'm, helping someone with. How am I in service, to the world,
Mhm.
uh, and being prosperous.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that too in the Reader's Path, School of Human Design.
Absolutely. Yes.
We will
So
talk about that. That's not a bad word.
right. So
It's
let's
not.
talk about because we're going to wrap this up, but before we do, like I do want us to spend some time sharing with folks about the Human Design School, right?
Mhm.
And I mean everything that we've shared here, you all, as you're listening, like, oh gosh, we're going to have so many rich, beautiful conversations in
Mhm.
our school just about all the different aspects of human design and how this shows up in your life, your business, how you're working with your people and your community, things of that nature. Um, but real quick though, just so that you understand, like the human design, the Reader's Path, Human Design School of Wisdom, it is a 10-month long journey that you'll be taking with myself and Michelle René, going deep into the learnings and understanding of human design. And we're using the word wisdom on purpose. It's very
Yes.
intentional because yes, you're going to learn human design. But again, as Michelle René has been, as we've been sitting here having this conversation, we're extracting the wisdom from that, right? And
Yeah.
going deeper into it. So Um, it's a 10-month journey. Um, we're going to be getting started in April. Doors will be opening in April. And for those of you who are wanting to learn more about this, dig deeper into it, you're wanting to integrate this not just in your life, but in your maybe in your business. You're a woman of color and you're like, oh my goodness, like I haven't seen anyone else out in the industry, that looks like me, that's talking about human design, that's teaching it through their
Right.
lens. This is the community that you want to be in.
Yeah. You're home.
Mhm.
This is home.
Yep.
Yeah. This is where the self-awareness, the transformation, the self-love, the empowerment, passion, wisdom. This is where this community, that's in this community. This is home.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, and I know too, Michelle René, like we talked about, like we definitely, and we're saying community a lot because in the beginning, if you remember, Michelle René was talking about when we were in Puerto Rico and we were at a conference, where there was, I mean, a sea of women, like just all different shades of brown in the room, right? And the
Mm.
openness and the
Yes.
locking of arms and like, sis, let me help you with this. And you have questions about that. And, let's sit down and talk about this. And, oh, let me show you how to do this was just, it's like, oh my goodness, like this exists, right? Like this
Right.
is available. And so, yeah, like we want to
Uh,
bring the energy of that and the flavor of that into this space where it's not just you individually going through this school and learning about human design and learning about yourself, but it's like you linked up with other women in this space
right.
to collaborate together, right? To
Right.
leverage your individual gifts and powers to create change and affect change in the world. Um, what else? What are
You don't
your
have to be about this. Entrepreneurship sometimes seems to be a very lonely journey, but not here. With
Mhm.
everything that Kendra just said, this is where we are building a community. We are, we've set our flag down. This is it. The teacher shows up and so does the school, you know? So we're ready. We are ready to build this community, to, help everyone to prosper, to be successful, to know themselves, to put their message out into the world and, do good, do well for yourself and others. This is legacy. We
Mm,
are, building our legacies. We are, putting it down. And I mean, and it just really rocked my world, that conference, just with being amongst all the women. And there was not, I mean, I am like, there was no,
oh no. Okay, go ahead,
okay.
Michelle Renee. We lost you there for a moment. Go ahead.
Yes. So just to say that community in Puerto Rico at that conference was what we want to bring, just that being part of this, just being part of this community
Mhm.
and knowing that you have someone you can turn to and say, hey, I need some help. How can I do this? I need these type of resources or what have you. This is something where you, from the beginning, as you're learning, you need to be earning.
Mhm.
We are not the proponents of, go, for 10 months, 12 months, however it is, and then start earning at the end. No, learning, earning.
Yes.
So
They go
we want
together.
to, yes, exactly. So we just are, yeah, it's time. It really is time for women of color to show up in this human design community.
Mhm.
Just, I mean, and every other community too. But it is our time. It is our
Yeah,
time. And let's do this together.
absolutely. I love it. So if you are listening to this and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I want to know more about this. I want to be in this space. I want to stay up to date with what's going on. I am going to leave the link for our exclusive updates community here in the show notes. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, if you scroll down a bit, you'll see it in the show notes. If you are watching this on YouTube, it's going to be in the description section. You can click on that, join our exclusive updates community, and you will be the first to know when we do, because we're going to do, we have a workshop that we plan on doing that's complimentary to just, continue to nurture this space. We are going to have some special pricing that's going to be coming out for the school. And so you want to be up to date and in the know about all of that. So we'll put the link in the show notes, click on that. Additionally, we would love for you to connect with us over on Instagram. You all know where I am already with the show at Soulful Success by Design on Instagram. But our school that we're collaborating on is also on Instagram now. It's at the Reader's Path _ human design. So I'll link that again below so you can easily just click on it and follow us there. And then Michelle René, do you want to let people know like where, if they want to follow you individually or kind of just, tap into your world, where can folks find you?
At Michelle René _ Robinson. Yes. Instagram.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
we are
this has
going
been
to. I know, it's been so good. And listen, y'all, we could talk with you all for another hour. Seriously, we could be here for another hour having this conversation. And maybe we'll do more of these where we come on and just, share some conversations and our thoughts around human design through our lens as two women of color. So I just want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I want to ask that you do me a favor and rate the show. Please go on to wherever you listen to well, preferably on Apple iTunes, I will say, go on there and leave a review for the show. Let us know how the show is supporting you, encouraging you, how you are learning through this space, and connect with us over on Instagram. Don't be afraid to ask questions, send a DM. Let us know what your thoughts are. Are there some things that you want to hear on the show that has not been talked about? And share this with anyone that you think could be supported in this conversation and in the learning of human design in and of itself. So until next time, this is Kendra with Soulful Success by Design. So go out there and create success from your soul and on your terms. Bye, everybody.